Welcome to the Painter Marketing Mastermind podcast, a show created to help painting company owners build a thriving painting business that does well over $1 million in annual revenue. I'm your host, Brandon Pierpont, founder of Painter Marketing Pros and creator of the popular PCA educational series, Learn, Do, Grow, Marketing for Painters. In each episode, I'll be sharing proven tips, strategies, and processes from leading experts in the industry on how they found success in their painting business. We will be interviewing owners of the most successful painting companies in North America and learning from their experiences.
Cool, what's up guys? Appreciate you having me up here. Can we give a round of applause? I want to say why, but Michael Cheney, the whole PCA Women in Paint committee and the PCA, I've been to every Women in Paint event, actually. I earned my Women in Paint card. There were a series of tests. Appreciate you guys. There were a series of tests Michael made me go through. I don't remember what they were. I think I blacked them out because they were so strenuous, but I went through them a couple years ago. She gave me the card, so I had to wear a wig like the first year, but now I just come in and you guys let me in. I appreciate that. But guys, this is huge, man. I mean, I think last year there was a hurricane and stuff, so some stuff happened, but I think there were 60, 80 people a year before, fewer people, and now we got 120 registrants. So can we please give it up for PCA? This is I am a marketer. So I'm going to give you guys that heads up. I'm going to take some pictures right now with you guys because that's what I do. I'm not going to tell you guys to market and then I don't market. That would be foolish. So someone had a really good idea. I was at Contractor Freedom Summit 2 days ago, dropped by there for a day, and the guy who's not a marketer had a good idea. And I thought, well, that's pretty smart. But he said if you go on stage and you have everyone just say Painter Marketing Pros, and you could film it, and then you could make an ad out of it. Are you guys good for that if we just scream Painter Marketing Pros? Sure. If you hate me, or you hate Painter Marketing Pros, you don't have to do it. But if you don't hate me, it'd be cool if you did. So, all right, I'm gonna do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Painter Marketing Pros! Appreciate you guys. It's weird, right? It's kind of awkward, but we just get through it. All right. Thank you for playing the game. Appreciate you all. So, I completely redid my presentation. I like to cut these kind of close. It's kind of a thing with my team. My wife actually 5 years ago used to make them. That was not good for our marriage, I'll be completely frank. So she doesn't make them anymore. I pay people to make them, and I have a little more leeway that way. But I redid it. So I had like an 80-slide presentation. Who here has heard me present before? Okay, so you guys know the style's pretty rapid. So I kind of go heavy on it. After going through the table talks yesterday, I sat at the table, I ran the one, how to achieve a high ROI on Facebook ads. I changed it because I want to add as much value as I can for you guys. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. I want you to think about questions as we go through this. Please write your question down because I want to leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end because the concepts I'm going to cover here are really important. There's a lot of misconception around marketing, and I want to address a lot of that today. So a little bit about me. My name's Brandon. I run Painter Marketing Mastermind. It's a podcast, been running it for about 3 years, have I think 180 episodes or so. If you guys want to check it out, that would be amazing. You can see it on our website, paintermarketingpros.com, and all the major streaming podcast platforms. I'm an ambassador for the PCA, very, very big into the PCA, member of several committees on the Bureau of Speakers, do some Sherwin-Williams events, and I love PCA. I've written 2 books. One of which was #1 Amazon bestseller, proud veteran of the Florida Army National Guard. And my background was in finance, so a little bit untraditional. I went to Notre Dame, got a degree in finance, did investment banking for 3 years, did private equity for 2 years, was CFO of a software company, and then went off the reservation, started an auto detail business, and then we're here today. But all that is relevant because I'm big into numbers, I'm big into metrics, I'm big into ROI, and apparently it's not uncommon for people who like finance to also like marketing because it's numbers and it's just neat. And this, we'll get there. Where did that go? Here we go. This has nothing to do with anything except that it's So I view myself as a man of integrity. If I make a promise, I keep the promise. I made a promise to myself here. It was PCA Commercial Conference last year. Who knows Jesse Ramos? Yeah, there's like a lot. I would say there's something, but there's a lot wrong with that guy. And I like Jesse a lot, and I'll tell Jesse that, and it's recorded so Jesse can see it. But he, at Commercial Conference last year, playing pickleball with Maggie and Chris and Chris Elliott, and we're out there, and Jesse walks up, and he's like, I'm gonna ride a bull. It's like first thing the guy said, haven't seen him in 6 months. I'm like, cool, me too, because I'm stupid. And so I just respond with stuff like that. And once I responded with that, I figured out that he was serious and it was a real thing and that you could die. But at that point, I had said it, so I said it, right? And so we went to this rodeo. I had to pay to almost die. You pay like $50. And what you guys can't see is this thing's like a double-decker. I've never been to a rodeo. I had no idea what was going on. So there's like a double-decker thing, probably 200 people packed into this bar. It's not a super affluent area. They each had to pay $50 to go in and watch. There are 8 people who are gonna ride bulls, all of which are amateurs. So there are no professionals here, right? The guy, if 200 people are gonna pay $50 to watch 8 people get on a bull, and none of which are professional, somebody's going to die. This is gladiator type stuff, because otherwise, why are they all paying all this money? And so I go in, the MC, I don't know what you call the guy who runs a rodeo. Somebody might know it, but the guy who does that came out and had everyone come out and get on a knee, and he's like, dear Lord, want to bless these athletes who are risking their lives here tonight. And I was like, I'm not an athlete. And like, this is getting really dicey. And everyone's like praying and serious. I was like, I am absolutely screwed. And I went first. I begged, I pleaded. I was like, I don't want to go first. Like, get on the bull. I don't know what the plan is. I think we're going straight. I'm like, we're going to kill people. We're heading out into the crowd. Apparently you go left, so we're going out another way. And I said, what do you do? And they're like, well, you try to stay on 8 seconds. Cool. What do you do after 8 seconds? Like, just hop off. Like, I'm pretty sure the bull and I are not on the same page on this one. Pretty sure it's not going to be like, hey, we're done. Like, the bull's just gonna keep going. So either way, you're going off the bull. It's not gonna be pleasant, so it's a lose-lose. I did survive, and I said, if I survive this, I'm just going to say it always in all my presentations. So there you go. All right, next one. Sorry. Next.
Did you last 8 seconds?
7.76. Yeah, thank you. I almost won it. One person went over 8. It was me, Jesse, and then 6 people that were on the circuit. Like, yeah. They're like, they all know each other. I was like, this is so freaking stupid. So, all right. So I don't talk to him anymore. So Painter Marketing Pros, a little bit about us. We've worked with over 400 painting companies. We've been in the space for 6 years. We've generated over 300,000 painting leads. Our average cost per lead across all channels, SEO, Facebook, Google Ads, everything is under $60 a lead for those 300,000 plus leads. And we've generated over $250 million in revenue. So all this is to say, I have some experience under my belt. I have some idea of what I'm talking about up here. I'm a columnist. I write Painter's Playbook for APC Magazine. Got Kevin here. It's an awesome magazine, paintmag.com. If you don't get it, get it. It's free. It's really great. I have contributed, Kevin, to In Paint Magazine, to their Ask a Pro section, and then probably highlighted my entrepreneurial career. Painter Marketing Pros, my team, was able to achieve Industry Partner of the Year of all the partners, not just marketing or coaching, all the partners for 2024 and 2025, back to back. I don't think it's ever happened before. So, appreciate that. All right, we work with a lot of companies. We do good work. All right, so Meta, who here runs Facebook ads? Okay, so a fair amount of you. Who here has run Facebook ads and doesn't anymore? Anna did for a week. Okay, who here thinks Facebook ads suck? Everybody who's running them or has run them. So, okay, I want to break down how to win at Facebook ads. And what I'm going to cover here, so the first 2, they're going to be specific to Facebook ads. The last thing is going to cover everything. So it's going to cover whether you get a lead from Google, it's going to cover if it's a repeat or referral, if it's a direct mail. However you get it, it's going to cover everything. Because I think there's this huge misconception. There's this idea that there's a dichotomy, that there's a good lead or there's a bad lead. There's a sale or there's a not sale, right? And so it's this oversimplistic mindset toward marketing, toward leads that I want to help you guys break today.
And it was a lot of what we covered during the table talks yesterday. So who here knows how Facebook charges you? What are you paying for? When you run a Facebook ad, what are you paying for? Yes. So you're paying for impression, right? There's this idea that you're paying per lead. So people, if you run a Facebook ad and you get a lead, it's 5 hours away, or you get some spam lead, it's not a real lead. People get upset. Like, I didn't want to pay for that lead. You didn't. It's not a pay-per-lead platform. This is relevant because if you guys understand the platform, you can play the game better and you can do better. What you're paying is something called cost per mil. So cost per mil is cost per 1,000 impressions. You are paying for eyeballs. So for 1,000 people, roughly 2,000 eyeballs, depending on who's watching. 1,000 people, about 2,000 eyeballs. That's what you're paying cost per mil, usually around $20 to $30. Okay, so you're paying around $20 to $30 for 1,000 people to see your ad. Then there's conversion rate. Who knows what a conversion rate is?
Depends on what you're converting.
Fair. So here, conversion rate, that sale that we're trying to make is someone to give you their information. So when we run Facebook ads, we run on Facebook, it's called on Facebook lead form ads. So you guys have seen them. For those of you who are running them, you're probably running this kind of ad. You're running an ad where you basically have people fill out their information, click submit, and request an estimate. That's the standard ad for a painting company. That is a on Facebook lead form ad. You do not want to take them and you do not want to send them to your site. That is a mistake. That is a bad way to run Facebook ads. So conversion rate would be of 100 people that see your ad, how many of them do that? How many of them take the step? One person takes it, you have a 1% conversion rate. Okay? So we have cost per mil, we have conversion rate, and then we have where I'm going to spend the bulk of my time. I wish I had a little box because I'm going to go in a soapbox. It's going to be a whole thing. Again, feel free to leave if you're like, this guy sucks. Some people think that, and that's okay. But it will be sales process. So I'm going to spend a fair amount of time on the sales process. Please write down your questions, because I know you guys are going to have questions. So write them down because I want to address them. Cost per mil. This is the cost per 1,000 impressions. I want to convey Facebook's business model to you. It is important to understand the business model of the platforms that you use. Google has a business model that's very similar to Facebook's. Facebook is selling the people who use Facebook. They sell attention. Anytime you use something, so we all can use Google and it's free. We can go on and we can search on Google and Google doesn't charge us to do that. We can go on Facebook, we can create a profile for free, we can stalk our ex, we can see what our high school, friends are doing, whatever. We can do all this stuff for free. The reason we can do it for free is because our attention is what is being sold. Anytime that you can use a software, you can use something for free, it's either freemium, which means that it's a software, but maybe they run ads or they're kind of annoying, limited features, and their whole idea there is to give you a taste of it and then upsell you, and that's their business model. So it's freemium, or you are the thing that is being sold. On Facebook, you are the thing that is being sold. So you're selling eyeballs, which means Facebook wants a lot of people to use their platform and they want them to be addicted to it. Because then they can go to you guys, they can go to big brands like Nike, and they can say, hey, we have this many users on Facebook, and each of our users stays on the platform approximately this many hours per day. Therefore, we have a ton of eyeballs. You should advertise here. It's like a Super Bowl commercial is going to be a lot more expensive than some billboard in the middle of nowhere because they have a lot more eyeballs. So Facebook wants to get as many eyeballs as they can because the way that they make money primarily is through these ads. So if you think about it that way, what Facebook wants is to provide a killer user experience. If we go onto Facebook and it's just obnoxious ad after obnoxious ad, we're going to stop using it. And if we stop using it, then their ad revenue is going to decline. So the reason this is relevant for you is when you run an ad, you want to show Facebook that people like your ad. Because the cost per mil, there's a lot that goes into the back end, but the long story short is the more people like your ad, the lower your cost per mil is going to go. Which means if you have a $1,000 ad budget for the month, a $2,000 ad budget for the month, if you drive down your cost per 1,000 impressions, more people will see your ad, and therefore you will likely get more leads. You will likely have a lower cost per lead for the same ad budget. The way that you primarily drive down your cost per mil is through engagement. So if you see these ads, these are ads that we have run. I think Painting by Jen Janessa's in here. Jesse, you want to raise your hand? She's not here. Cool. I actually just said that because I wanted to see if she was here. She's not. So Michael's here. We're running an ad for Michael. So she's here. Thank you, Michael. So, and then we got a couple other ones up here. But you can see the engagement. Who here has watched the movie The Social Dilemma? Check it out. If you haven't watched it, it's freaky scary. The Social Dilemma, it came out in 2020. It's all about how good social media platforms, and Google's like this as well, but how good Facebook is at knowing you, at knowing everything you search, everything you look at. They're tracking how long you stay looking at certain things on the screen. It's scary. They know you better than you know yourself. It's really scary stuff. And that was 2020, and they just continue to evolve. So when you put up a photo like this, you put up family photos. We like family photos, photos of dogs, outside stuff, things like that. When you put this up and people are going on and kind of scrolling their feed and they see it, they think maybe they know you. Like that picture, especially that one on the second to the left, Fresh Coat Painters of Augusta, I think. They think that they know them. Like, who is this? Right? So what they're going to do is they're going to stop the scroll and it's going to sit on the screen longer as they try to figure it out. And they're not even going to know it's an ad initially because it's sponsored. You can see it's really small up there. So they're not going to initially see it's an ad. They're going to try to figure out who it is. Now Facebook says, oh, that ad is, they stopped. They engaged. Just stopping. Not even clicking, not filling it out, not liking it, not doing anything. Just stopping is a sign to Facebook that there was engagement. It caught their eye. They liked it. Something about it drew them in. Therefore, it's a more likely to be a positive experience than an ad that nobody stops on. Because that's just taking up valuable real estate and it's not adding value and people are just skipping past it. It's a negative user experience for them. So they stop. Now we look at all the likes, the hearts, the cares, all those likes, right? So we see 871, 1.1 thousand, 468 or whatever that is, 498, 1.4 thousand. That's an absurd amount of who's liking an ad? If you see just a random ad with a painter on a house, are you gonna like it, like heart it? Like, wow, this is so cool. Look at that stock image guy, man, that's amazing. Probably not. It's probably not gonna resonate with you. So you get that and Facebook's like, wow, people are really liking this ad. Cost per mil, driven down further. Then you see how many comments we have, how many shares we have. 84 comments, 95, 464, 129. So many comments. Facebook's like, people are going nuts for this ad. This is a great experience. Let's drive down the cost per mil some more and let's penalize other ones that people aren't interacting with because they're hurting our platform. This one's helping our platform. We want them to continue running this ad. We want it to go well because it's a win-win. Facebook's doing better, you're doing better. So now this is how you drive down cost per mil. Conversion rate, super related. Because guess what these comments are? These 871, 1.1 thousand, all these comments, they're testimonials. It's absurd. This is such a hack. It becomes just this wall of testimonials. Like, yeah, I've used them. They were great. Jack came out. He was the best. The crew was great. Did the kitchen cabinets. Highly recommend. Check them out. It's just this wall of testimonials. It's social proof all day long. If they use your company and you do a great job, and then you just have this stock image of someone painting, they're still unlikely to comment because they don't resonate with that. It doesn't. But if they see you out there and they interacted with you, or if they see your project consultant or your crew leader, they see a face that they recognize, now they feel personal affinity, they know that they used you, they're much more likely to comment, right? That then leads us into this, conversion rate. So now we have a lower cost per mil, so more eyeballs are seeing the ad. Again, erring toward personal ads. Personal ads over corporate looking ads. People want to do business with people. People feel close to people. They don't feel close to faceless entities. Now our conversion rate's going to go way up when you have these proof, just these testimonials. These are just a couple, right, of testimonials because somebody's going to see the ad, then they're going to look at the comments, and it's just all these comments about how great you are. Now your conversion rate, now more people are going to give you their information. They're going to take the step that you want them to take. Okay, respond to the comments. So we have a system, it's AI with human assist. So basically drafts and then we review. We respond to every single comment. When you respond to comments, you double the engagement because they commented, then you commented. And sometimes they'll comment again, then you comment again. And so now it's just like, this ad's lighting up, right? So you double the engagement. Plus if somebody's like, they're great, you should check them out. They painted my kitchen cabinets. And then you don't respond, it kind of looks disrespectful. Kind of looks like you don't care. They gave you a shout out and you just left them hanging, right? So respond to every comment. Sometimes you'll get a troll. You'll get a competitor. You'll get somebody who maybe did have a negative experience, maybe someone who was unreasonable. they might leave you a negative comment. Like, no, they're terrible. They're way overpriced, right? They're garbage. They came out. They were $5,000 over. Don't use these guys. They're going to rip you off. Hide it. Don't delete it. Hide it. Because then they're going to see it still, and they're the only ones in the world that are going to see it. And then they're not going to keep coming at you. So the best practice there is go on. You can say hide comment. So that's what you do with negative comments. Now the third lever, the one where I'm going to get onto my soapbox for a bit here, is sales. Who here mostly relies on word of mouth, repeat, referral? Probably at least half of you, right? And when you're starting out, and even when you're growing, if you haven't really learned marketing, if you haven't put a lot of effort or money into marketing, you probably rely on word of mouth. And here's the thing that is a real kick to people when they go from word of mouth to marketing, is you have to actually sell. You don't have to sell with word of mouth, right? Because what's the number one fear of people when they hire a contractor is that you're going to screw them. It's the same with a marketing agency. We have the same issue. So the number one fear is that you're going to screw them. So if you paint the neighbor's house and you didn't steal from them, right? You didn't do something really terrible, and you did a at least adequate job, then what do all the neighbors say? Like, oh, who'd you use? You're still alive, right? You're still alive. You say, like, it went well, house looks good. Okay, my risk is mitigated, so therefore I'm going to err toward this company because it seems like things are going to go okay if I choose them. Versus another company, I have no idea how it's going to go, right? So the risk mitigation is really, really important, but that's basically all you have to do to sell through word of mouth. It's like, I didn't kill them and they did a good job and they're happy, and so just choose us, even if we're a little more expensive, because you're paying, it's almost like insurance, right? You have no idea how it's going to go with the other contractor. When you go out and you market and you start generating leads that don't have that referral aspect or that repeat business aspect, you have to actually sell. And so my primary, what I'm going to get into is people think that it's a sale or it's a not sale. It's a good lead or it's a bad lead. I closed a project or I didn't close a project. There are at least 10 micro sales. This is a journey. You are selling the whole time. It's just whether or not they closed on the project, that's just the biggest sale. But it's not the only sale. So I'm going to go through 10 different sales that we're going to cover here. And one point I want to make is where are we? Nashville. So if moving around. If we're in Nashville, and let's say all of you guys run a painting company in Nashville, and Painter Marketing, man, that was loud. Make sure you guys are awake. Painter Marketing Pros generates a lead, and we give that lead to each of you. The value of that lead is different for every single company in this room. It's a different value. It is not the same value. It is not a good lead or a bad lead or a kind of good lead. It is a different value. If you can maximize the value of your lead, meaning you squeeze as much value, you squeeze as much revenue, you squeeze as much out of that lead as you can, then when the economy tanks, when more competitors enter your market, when Q4 happens, seasonality is rough, when stuff like that happens, you still win. You almost hope it happens. Because in downturns, in economic downturns, the best companies actually take market share. And a lot of people who are massively successful, a lot of titans of business historically, they made their wealth in downturns. So downturns is actually when you win. And there's this idea, he who can pay most or she who can pay most to acquire a customer wins. So we have some companies that we generate leads at absurd amount, $20, $30 a lead. That's a disgustingly low valuation. That's a disgustingly low cost per lead. And then we have some that's like $80, $100 per lead, and they are crushing it. They're doing better than the ones at 20 or 30. Some of our best testimonials are from people who their cost per lead is actually above average for us. Michael, she's absolutely crushing it. She's about our average. So I looked at her yesterday, last 30 days on Facebook, she's $53 a lead. That's about average for us. Absolutely slaying it because she's doing a lot of these things. She's thinking about it the right way. So it's a series of sales. There are at least 10 different ones. The first one starts with your presence. The first one starts with before you even run the ad. What does it look like? What does your website look like? How many reviews do you have? How many do you have any before afters? What does your Facebook profile look like? Because when money gets tight, when tariffs are happening, when there's economic uncertainty, when people don't know where we're going, they still want their house painted, but they're gonna hold the dollars a little tighter. Who here has seen the buying cycle elongate? Who here has seen homeowners taking longer to make a decision, getting more quotes? They still want the project done, but they're gonna be more careful. They're not gonna just throw the money out to the first contractor they feel good about, right? So that means they're gonna do homework. They're gonna look at you. You run a Facebook ad, the next logical step for them where they're gonna go is your Facebook profile. Do you have a consistent professional presence? Are you posting at least once a week? Big misconception is if you go and you spend a bunch of time posting a bunch of Facebook stuff, you're gonna get all these leads. You're not. So the Facebook management is for conversion. It's because when people go do their homework on you, they're more likely to move forward because you have a professional presence and they trust you. So step one is, what does your presence look like before you even start the ads? Because now you're gonna convert better when people do their homework on you. Now the ad. So one of the interesting concepts, and I don't think I ever fully realized it, that people think this way. One of the interesting concepts that came up at my table yesterday was you need to create an ad that really resonates with people, that really pulls them in, this story, right? They're really bought into your company. I say yes and no. The only thing you're trying to do with the ad is just get their information. That's the sale. And so I like the personal image. I like story. If you have a story, people like that. People relate to it. But it does not carry you past that. So it works to get their information. It works to increase your conversion rate. When you run an ad, right now, it's your ad set rate. What percentage of people are actually seeing it and then stepping forward and wanting an estimate, right? When you run an ad that kind of pulls at their heartstring, that connects with them, then you get them to take forward. And I think people think that they're going to create this magic ad. It's going to be so good that now the project is sold. The ad is done. As soon as they enter their information, click submit, yes, request a quote, that's done. We're on to the next sale. That ad is not going to carry you through. You just did a good enough job to make that sale. That's your next micro sale. Now you're going to build value because once they give you their information, you're not in their house that moment. There's a gap. That gap should be short as humanly possible. That's part of the sales process. The more you shorten that, the higher your close rate's going to be, the higher your profit margin can be. So if you can't get into somebody's house for a week or two, you got to find a way to close that gap. Right? So if you can get in there within 1, 2, 3 days, really within 3 days, that's an ideal time frame. But what are you doing during those days? Right now, the experience has already started. The delivery has already started because people can paint their own house. People know that, right? Especially for interior projects. If it's not cabinet refinishing, people think they can't paint exterior. But interior, everybody knows that they can go get paint, they can put it on the wall. So they're not hiring you to paint. They're hiring you to take the load off and to provide a great customer experience, to make sure it's done right, that they don't have to worry about it. They're hiring you for the peace of mind. So as soon as they have already invested into you, because giving you their information, they've invested into you, you are now serving them. It doesn't matter that they haven't paid you. The process started. The delivery has started, right? So you're now serving them. They are a client of yours in a way because they have paid you through their information. They have paid you through their time. So what are you doing between the time that they give you the information and the time that you walk into their house? Things you should be doing. You should be reaching out to them within 60 seconds. 60 seconds. The only way you do that is through automation. The only way you do that is through a CRM. We use a CRM, it's called High Level. When somebody fills out the information, it calls the sales number, it calls the painting company. It's a bot, pick up. John Smith just filled out your lead form, press 1 to be connected to John Smith. Now you press 1, it forces an outbound dial. It does what should happen in an ideal world if somebody's just sitting there looking at their Facebook ad, comes in, oh, let me call them right away. Because that's what needs to happen, right? Then we send a text. Then we send an email. You can send voicemail drops, so voicemails that go in without you needing to call. There are all these things that you can send to get that lead on the phone right away and get the estimate set. You can send a self-booking link. Some people want to talk to you. Some people want to text with you. Some people want to check email, especially some older people. And some people don't want to talk to you at all. They just want to get on the calendar. They're really busy. It's late. They're not interested. It's weird you're calling them at 11 p.m. But if you send them a self-booking link, cool, I'll check my calendar. I'll get it on there. Let's just get this scheduled. So make it easy for people to give you money. Make it easy for people to do business with you. Don't make it so hard for people to take the next step. So you do things like that. Then between the gap of when you actually walk into their home and now that you've got the estimate set, you need to build some value. One thing we like to do is you record a video of the painting company owner. Like, hey, it's Jen with Painting by Jen. I want to thank you for requesting an estimate from us. I want to tell you a little about the company and what you can expect. So we've been in business, blah, 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 this long. When our estimator shows up, they're going to do X, Y, Z. So now they watch that. They know what to expect. People don't know. They're not doing it every day. They don't know how long it's gonna take. They don't know if there's something they need to do to prepare for you to be there. When you walk through the expectations, you're now taking care of them, right? It's like you're carrying them along this process. If you have any customer testimonials, if you have before and after photos, you can put that into a document and you can send them a little link where they can see it. You're building value, you're building trust. And then the ultimate hack is before you go to their house, we use high level CRM, you can do it in the CRM. Before you go to the house, if it's you or if it's another estimator or project consultant, record a little selfie video and say like, hey John, it's Jen. Want to let you know I'm headed your way now. Very excited to discuss your project with you. See you in about 15 minutes. Now there's no question of, is this the painter, this car that just stopped, is it the painter, or is it somebody who's gonna try to mug me? We'll see. Right, when they come out, is this, I think this person's from the painting company. They've seen the face. They know, like, and trust you. They've seen about the company. They've gotten some testimonials. They've built some value there. Now they've actually seen the human that's gonna come meet them. There's already familiarity built, the wall of don't sell me, don't screw me. That wall has started to come down before you even stepped into the home because you're already delivering for them. You're already saying, hey, you're potentially gonna hire me for peace of mind. You're potentially gonna hire me to take care of you. So let me take care of you now. Let me not wait until you pay me money, until you pay me the deposit to start taking care of you. Close rate, this is the sale. This is what everyone thinks the only sale is, right? You close the project or you don't. That's just the biggest, it's just the biggest piece because see, we're already on number 4. And I could break these down into more, right? So we're on number 4. Number 4 is you make the sale or you don't. That's its own thing, how to close and close in the home. And are you upselling? Right? It's not a sale or not a sale. It's not a sale, yes or no. It's if their interiors are something that they could use on the exterior. Could we upsell the paint? Could we cross-sell them something? Right? Do we do anything else? Do we do siding? Do we do backsplashes if we're doing cabinets? Can we take the ticket value of this project and can we increase it? They trust us enough that they want to move forward with us. They want to pay us. They want us to come to their house. What else can we offer them while we're here? Can we take the ticket value and increase it? Because if we can take the ticket value, the sales price, and increase our average sales price, then again, we can pay more money for the lead and still win. So now we're less sensitive to fluctuations in the market. We're less sensitive to Meta deciding they're going to change their algorithm, and now all of a sudden our lead cost doubles. That's okay. We have plenty of margin. We sell at high rates. We have high profitability. We have good close rates because we build value the whole way. People trust us, right? It's okay if Facebook wants to double our cost per lead. We're still winning. Other people are going out of business. They have to stop marketing. We don't. Review. Reviews are worth money. They're worth a lot of money, especially for contractors. Reviews are worth a lot of money. So Michael Cheney she got attacked yesterday on her profile. She got attacked. This happens. So this is important. The one thing you know about being a business owner is you're going to get screwed, right? You're going to get, kind of Mike Tyson says, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. A mentor of mine said when I started my first business, he said, you have decided to step in the ring. Right? You could go get a job, you could work at Walmart, you could do something. There's always things that can happen at different jobs. But when you decide to be a business owner, bad stuff's gonna happen. That's just a fact. It's just how bad is it? When does it happen? How prepared are you? So Michael Cheney got 14 one-star reviews in a row. 1 hour yesterday. Just lit her up. Right? So we're now, it's an attack. She probably got more. That was 14 when we talked. So probably more. It's an attack, right? It's either a ransomware type attack, like someone saying, hey, you gotta, and we'll have to circle up with her, but hey, you have to pay us money and we'll stop this. There's a whole dark side of digital marketing. You can pay people for negative reviews. There's a whole lot of shady stuff. It's maybe someone that is upset, that maybe hired one of these companies to attack because they create all these fake profiles and then they can, just like you can buy good reviews, which I don't recommend, you can also buy bad reviews and you can attack people. So she got that. What's really interesting is she got 14 one-star reviews, and her rating went to a 4.8 because she has so many reviews. And so that's where the best way reviews are valuable, right? Reviews are valuable. How many people, if you got 14 one-star reviews, would feel still okay about your rating? That would be tough, right? So we're gonna get those reviews off. Maybe we did already, I don't know. But the point is she has a lot of positive reviews, and that's worth a lot of money. People are always going to check reviews, especially when people are holding their dollars tighter, when they're doing more research. Reviews, if they don't know anyone who's personally used you, if they haven't personally used you, their next best bet is to go online and look at reviews and read stuff. So review rate, this review, it's a verbal contract that you start before you start the project. So people say, well, they said they're going to leave me a review. They never leave a review. They're not going to leave you a review. If they say, I'm going to leave you a review, yeah, you were great, I'll definitely leave it. Usually they're not going to leave it, right? So that starts before you start the project. Whoever is your project manager, hey, Mr. Homeowner, hey, Mrs. Homeowner, really excited. Thank you for trusting us with your project. We're very excited to get this started. Hey, it's my goal. I take a lot of pride in our work. If there are issues, please don't hesitate to let me know. Let me know right away. I'm going to step in. I'm going to make it right. It's my goal to make this the best experience you've ever had with a contractor. That's my goal. I want to do everything I can to earn a 5-star review from you. Is that okay? The person's going to say yes. They want you to do a good job. They're not going to say, no, I'm not going to give you a 5-star review. Don't screw my house up, right? They're going to say, yes, cool. Provide them a great experience. Do what you said you were going to do. You want people to come to you with negative feedback. You want that because they have it, so you want to seek it out so you can make it right. People think they don't want to hear the negative feedback. It's there whether you see it or not. You know, elephants, they hide their eyes. If they can't see, you can still see their whole body, right? So it doesn't actually save you. So you want the negative feedback. You want to check in. So you take care of them. You get to the end of the project, do the final walkthrough. They're happy. Hey, Mr. Homer, was I able to do it? Be able to do what? If you remember, I wanted to provide a 5-star experience for you. Was my team able to do that for you? Yeah, it was great. Man, that means the world to me. Would you be willing to leave that review, the 5-star review? Of course. Can I actually walk you through that? So we've had some people, they struggle. They've had a hard time finding our Google business profile for some reason. Can I just walk you through it right now? Do you have your phone on you? You're going to pull out what I call a customer happiness card. There's going to be a QR code, and you're going to have them leave the review right there. You get the review before you leave. The review is worth a lot of money because now it's going to help you back to number 1 with the digital presence. It's going to help you with the set rate. It's going to help you with the close rate. It's going to help you with the bill value. So now we're going back to that, and you're going to get reviews. Bare minimum, 1 out of every 3 projects you complete get a 5-star review. I think you can do better than that. Neighborhood take rate. Who here does flyers? Who here peppers the neighborhood? Some door knocking when you're out there. Karen, Michael, of course. Sweet. So when you're out there, again, people are so nosy, and they want to keep up with the Joneses, and it seems like everyone's still alive in the house, and they're like, yeah, nobody's screaming. It seems like it's pretty good. Well, their house is going to look, well, our house doesn't look that good. Take advantage of that, right? Take advantage of that. They're trusting you already, so go ahead and track that. How many, when you go out and you conduct an estimate and you conduct a project, how often, what percentage of those projects are you getting more projects from in the neighborhood? My wife just started a painting company. I'm kind of jealous. We're out there and she's serving houses in the neighborhood and people are just coming out of the woodworks. She's doing nothing. And they're just selling more projects and more projects. I'm like, this is crazy. So imagine if you actually put some intentionality behind it, how good it will do, right? You guys, painting companies grow doing nothing. They're just there and they don't kill anybody and they paint the house. Imagine if you put some intentionality behind it. So what's your neighborhood take rate? Referral business, you leave, that's another sale. That's a sale. You have a piece of hard copy collateral. You have incentives. You have, hey, thanks so much for letting us serve it. Do you know any friends, family? Do you know anyone else who we could serve? If we do, we want to make sure you're taken care of. We actually offer a $150 Visa gift card and 10% off their project. Right? And then repeat business, keeping in touch with them. Here's what I would do. It is, if you've been in business for a while, I would recommend thinking about it. I think Nick May initially came up with this concept. I would offer free interior touch-ups for life, or free interior touch-ups for 3 years or 5 years. Sounds crazy, right? What's the fear? The fear is that a contractor is going to mess up their house. They're not going to come back. Can't get in a hold of them. They screwed it up. Now I'm stuck with it. Paid a bunch of money. I'm out the money. You're going to do the polar opposite of that. You're going to insist that you work for them for free. You're going to say, hey, we just did this project. You love it. We love it. Things happen. You have kids. There's nicks. I walked in and I scratched my door with my watch, right? Things like that. We're going to scratch the house, right? Things are going to happen. We want to make sure that this house, that the paint job continues to look excellent for you. So we actually offer free interior touch-ups for the next 5 years. So our team's going to proactively reach out to you, come back and do the work for free, absolutely free of charge. That's going to help circle back to your close rate, circle back to your upsell, cross-sell rate. We haven't even gotten into the profit margin, which obviously is built in there. What's your profit margin when you sell? But all of that stuff, how competitive is that? You can put that into some of the bill value. That can be going into the bill value for any interior estimates you're doing. Nobody else is offering that. Chuck's not rolling up saying, every year, I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna paint your house for free. Chuck's not offering that, right? So when he undercuts you, there's a lot of value there. You know what that is? It's a sales call. That's it. It's a sales call. Hey, Mr. Customer, can you pay me more money for this project? And can you be much more likely to close? And can I come sell you every single year? Yeah, let's do it. Say, but I don't want to pay someone to go out there for free. You're not paying for the lead, right? Whether it's $20, $60, $100 on Facebook, you're not paying for that. You save that money. That money goes to whoever's out there touching up, and then they're selling again. No matter how good of experience, I'm sure you've all experienced this. We're all heroes in our own minds. We think, well, they loved us. They left us a review. They told us how great the project was. 3 weeks later, they have no idea the name of your company. They do not know. They do not care. They were probably good people. They genuinely had a good experience with you. They have a lot going on. They don't care. So they're not remembering you the way that you think or hope that they are. But you're not calling them every year. Maybe they don't know anyone who needs a project then. A year from now they do. 2 years from now they do. 3 years from now they do. 4 years from now they do. 5 years from now they do. If I step foot, it's been the hardest thing basically that I've done is not start a painting company. I'm going to tell you guys that. I'm serious. I went out, Alex Hormozy. Who here follows Alex Hormozy? So he's amazing. I'm a fanboy out on him. But I got to talk to him for 10 minutes in Las Vegas. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, very successful marketer. He's like 5 years younger than me. And I said, hey, Alex, I want to start a painting company. And how I justified it was, well, it can be R&D. You know, I can make my marketing company better because I can do anything I want, whereas I can't kind of, be hog wild with our partners. But I can really do whatever I want with this. And he said, a resounding no. Because the power of one, focus, stay singularly focused. I was like, what does he know? He doesn't know anything. Worth a couple $100 million. So then I asked his team, they'll know. Every single member of his team, resounding no. So I don't have a painting company, but my wife does. But if I did have a painting company, if this is their house, I just stepped into their house, here's how I'm going to think about it. This house is now mine. I'm going to serve at such a high level that no other painting company is ever going to serve this house. This house is mine. This neighborhood is mine. Their friends and family are mine because I'm going to outserve everybody. I'm going to build the system, the automations plus the manual. I'm going to build a system that I'm going to outserve everybody, and it's all mine now. And that's how you actually build value. When so many painting companies don't really have value, Brandon Lewis back there, he runs APPC, highly recommend talking with him if you haven't. Phenomenal coaching program, some of the best stuff I've ever seen. He talks about building value as a company, right? Making an asset sellable, making your company sellable. If you have a repeat client list, if you have a list of clients, if you have a ton of reviews, a strong digital presence, this is all stuff that when a private equity-backed company or a huge painting company or home service company comes in and looks at you, this is what they look at and what they're willing to pay for, what they're willing to pay more money for. The reason they're willing to pay you money for that is because it makes money. That's a big thing people don't get. Well, I don't want to sell the company. Who cares? You want to make money, right? Is there anybody here who doesn't want to make money? Right? We want to make money, so the reason they're going to pay you more money is because it's going to make them more money. And the reason how it can make them more money is it can also make you more money. So this stuff, you do all this stuff the right way, and you build value. So that is kind of my soapbox. A lead is not the same value for all of you. It's extremely different. Some of you, Michael Chaney can get a lead. She could pay 10 times what some of you guys can pay, and she will still win. Right? So a lead is not the same value for everybody. It's not good or bad. It's not I closed or I didn't close. The close is one of at least 10 sales that you got to make throughout the whole way. That's what I got. Do you have questions? Yes.
I was asking about Facebook reviews. Are they similar to Google? That if everybody leaves a Google review now, they're going to be flagged? And how do those work, are beneficial for us when we're running ads?
It's another review platform. People will look at it when they look at your profile. They'll see, 300 people, yes, recommend this company. They're not as valuable as Google. To be frank, you can buy those very, very easily. Google, it's much harder to buy Google reviews. I wouldn't buy Google reviews. You can get your profile suspended. You can buy Facebook all day long. However, the homeowner doesn't know that, right? So it's still valuable, but Google's still the gold standard. So when you're asking for reviews, that's an awesome question because some people are like, well, should I ask for reviews on all the platforms? You should, but one at a time. If you say, hey, can you do these 6 things for me? No. Again, think about everything as sales. Now this is micro sales for the review. Say, hey, can you leave the review, do the whole thing, get the Google review. Thank you so much. Can I actually have this other card? We're gonna sell them again. Now we're gonna get a Facebook review, right? Or maybe it's on the flip side of that same card. Like, oh, actually on this other side, there's a Facebook. You could even copy it and paste it. Could we just leave this as well? So sell it, but sell it one at a time.
And then my other question was, whenever you're running Facebook ads, one of the issues that I had was that I might have been doing this wrong, but I would get like a lead that was like an hour away from where we operate. Is there a way that you can not advertise in those areas on Facebook?
So you can exclude areas. So the way that Facebook works, super stalkerish, is it's gonna basically track your phone, where you're at. So if you serve a certain area, and there are some issues if you live in a tourist destination, like Las Vegas or New York, that this can become problematic. So if somebody comes through your area, or if you live in a route where a lot of people travel to and fro, but you don't serve the whole surrounding area, if you live in a certain area and people come there, they're going to see your ad. Because Facebook's gonna tag them as they were there, you target this area. Therefore now, even if they go an hour away, like let's say you serve downtown somewhere, and they come in and they work in downtown, but their house is like, they have a long commute, an hour away, they're gonna see your ad. How you can counteract that is you can take all the areas you don't wanna serve and you can put them into exclusion. So you can exclude them. What's super relevant to know is that if you exclude that area and then someone from your target market goes into the excluded area, they are now going to be excluded. Right, so people get included and they get excluded. There's not a perfect solution there, so you have to be somewhat strategic about what's the flow of traffic. If if some people who I serve downtown and I live in downtown, but some people who live in downtown, sometimes they go out to this certain area, right? And like Martha's Vineyard or something, right? Like sometimes they go to a certain area, and I wouldn't want to exclude those people. Then I'm not going to exclude that area, but maybe I'll exclude other areas. So, it's a good question. Oh, I should probably say this, sales. So one of the things we do at Painter Marketing Pros, it's called a database reactivation. You can ask Michael how it goes, but we basically do a series of SMS and email. We build an offer, and then we reach out to all your past lists. If you've been in business for any period of time, like 2 years, 2 years longer, you have a list of past leads. You have a list of past clients. We reach out to them. We structure an offer. We do it 4 times a year. We use it to reduce seasonality. And we use it to basically shake the list. Brandon Lewis talks a lot about, stepping over a dollar to get a dime and how the value is really in the second and ongoing transaction. So shake the list, get deals. A lot of times that more than covers our marketing, and then everything else we do is free. So we're running a free one of those for women and paid attendees who sign up. You sign up for us, we shake the trees, and we basically make you a bunch of money, so your marketing is free. So if you're interested in scaling, go ahead and scan that, and that will be an offer that we're running for you guys only.
Thank you. This is like a really good presentation. I really appreciate you sharing all this information. I wanted to ask more about the testimonial comments, because that was really intriguing to me, because I run ads today and I get them, whatever, I target a certain area. But how do your current customers or past customers, is this like something that happens naturally when you're running the ad? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, they don't actually go out and seek that out. But
Okay.
when you run an ad that shows people that they've interacted with and they've actually had a good experience with you, then they just comment.
Got it.
And
yeah.
guys, also one quick comment on that too. When you run meta ads, a lot of times you'll get leads in the comment section. So often it'll be like, hey, do you guys service this area? Hey, do you guys offer cabinet refinishing? Hey, do you guys blah, blah, blah? It's a lead. So a lot of times we actually undervalue at Painter Marketing Pro, something we're working on. We undervalue the number of leads that we generate because we don't even count those right now. But those are all leads. So don't set an ad and then just not look at your comment section. Comment section is really, and if somebody lights you up, says something negative, it will hurt your performance. So you must hide those comments.
With Facebook ads and impressions, if I see the same ad multiple times, am I multiple impressions or am I just one since I'm just the single user?
Multiple. So it's just how many times it's seen. There is a metric called frequency. And frequency is how often, on average, the same person has seen your ad. The ideal frequency is actually between 4 and 7. So people have to see it a few times typically to move forward.
Does it hurt when you really fine tune your demographics? So like where we're located, it's a huge college town. So anytime I've done an ad, I'm like, nobody under 40. And I'm like, I really fine tune it. And I don't know if that hurts me because ads have never really worked for us in the past. So
We do 35 and up, and we almost leave it. We do 35 and up. We like radius. You can do radius or zip. Radius tends to work better. And then we usually leave it open after that. So if you start doing a ton of stuff, it's going to really drive up your cost per lead. But age, you should definitely do age. Young people don't have money and they don't have houses. Yep.
How does the strategy look different if you're solely commercial?
It's a great question. So commercial, we offer commercial. Meta, you can target property managers. So you're going to want to call out your avatar. So a lot of times targeting a homeowner, we might say like, hey, Grove City homeowners. Hey, Cincinnati homeowners, right? Calling it out seems kind of silly a little bit, but you want to draw people in and resonate and make them resonate. Make sure they know this ad is for you. You can get lists of property managers. You can actually target people based on job title. And so you would have a much smaller budget. And you say like, hey, property managers. Hey, commercial business owners, right? So Meta typically doesn't work the best. So it's worth exploring. We do LinkedIn outreach, LinkedIn ads and LinkedIn outreach because commercial is very relational. Google ads is something I highly recommend for commercial because that's search intent, people going on and paint my warehouse, paint office space, paint the restaurant, paint whatever, and you want to show up. Google ads, I won't get into that. You would want to build a separate landing page for each vertical that you're serving. Obviously, commercial is a broad spectrum, and you'd want to run a tight ad campaign for every one of those. But I like Google ads. I like SEO. It's obviously longer tail. It's not going to get you leads right away. Explore Meta ads, but I'm not the biggest fan of that just because it's so targeted, whereas Meta tends to work better with a broader reach of people. And then LinkedIn, really big, LinkedIn direct outreach, as well as LinkedIn ads, and then just relationships, of course. Cool, guys, I think we got one more. We'll make this our last one. I don't want to.
Yeah, this is probably a good one to wrap up with. So I get to speak later about sales, so thank you for doing 99% of my job. But I do want to, you never know who you're talking to in the room, and I just want to state that we were a primarily new commercial company for a long time. We had some tragedy in our business and everything, but the point of it is that we quickly had to pivot. Our market changed at the same time that I lost an estimator of 17 years. And we had to sink or swim, and believe me, we've been sinking for a while. But the point of it is this: we knew we had to make a change. I've never had to do marketing. Yeah, we did some Facebooks, we did this and whatever. But the point is that we knew we had to get serious, and we'd never had a CRM. We lived on referral base only. And the reason our market changed is because in 2020, everyone decided they want to move to Boise, Idaho. That was super cool. And so now a lot of owners of businesses brought their owners, and they brought their sophistication, and we got franchises, and we never had that. Like before, to be honest with you, I turned down $1 million in sales in 2018, 19, and then even in 2020. But the point of it is this: we were on a referral base, and all of a sudden, where'd our backlog go? It was gone. And we're panicking because we had, 30 hungry painters. And I did hire painter marketing pros. This is a plug. And I do want to say that they come with a free CRM, it's included. I didn't really know what a CRM was. I was like, I don't need that. That sounds like a lot of work. And I didn't need it because I was referral based. And the phone rang more than I could pick it up and book those calls. And sometimes we're like, I'm sorry, our season's closed. We're not taking any more. It's like, I can't even remember those days now. So now I'm fighting for every lead. But if I didn't have some complete program like Brandon brings with his team, I don't know where I'd be today. I'd be feeling very desperate. But now we have leads and we have places to send people, and they're going out on sales calls, and I'm very excited where the next chapter is. I'm still learning about all of this. I'm very, very innocent to it, and I'm a sponge. I talk to his team daily. Their team is very receptive to all my questions, and you get a lot of support. So I'm really glad that I have a new partner in my business, so I don't feel alone. But I never know who is in the room and what kind of interest they might have in something like this. But if you don't have a CRM, you don't have a marketing plan, you might want to hire a professional. So there you go.
Goodness gracious. Thank you, Risa. Glad I left time for that question. I owe a lot of people a lot of money. So.
If you want to learn more about the topics we discussed in this podcast and how you can use them to grow your painting business, visit paintermarketingpros.com/podcast for free training, as well as the ability to schedule a personalized strategy session for your painting company. Again, that URL is paintermarketingpros.com/podcast. Hey there, painting company owners. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us your feedback. Let us know how we did. And also, if you're interested in taking your painting business to the next level, make sure you visit the Painter Marketing Pros website at paintermarketingpros.com to learn more about our services. You can also reach out to me directly by emailing me at brandon@paintermarketingpros.com, and I can give you personalized advice on growing your painting business. Until next time, keep growing.